Beautiful burgers, in this episode is going to be a very exciting one. It's how to bring one of the oldest asset class in the world into Web3 by enjoying investments but as well culture and value. Spirits has been one of the oldest tradition where people bring a lot of value by creating beautiful wine and different spirits in order to enjoy into it, but as well to invest into this. A lot of cities have built their wealth around, for example, wine such as Bordeaux. In this episode, we're going to be bringing the founder of InterCellar that has been finally bringing how real world assets could bring on chain, and not any kind of real world assets, but the one that is the fine wine and the fine spirits. Without further ado, let's please invite Louis de Boncaz to the show. Very excited to have you, Louis. Warm welcome to yourself.
Hi, Cyrus. I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for this introduction. SwissBorg and you by yourself are supporting us for a long time. So I'm very glad to be here today for the launch of the Alpha on SwissBorg. To say about InterCellar. So really glad to spend some time with you to explore the investment, the RWA, the wine and spirits, and so on.
Just before getting into that, let's quickly tell how did we meet. This was a year ago or more. We already were working together, but I personally haven't met the team. And I was in Bordeaux in vacation, and we were going to essentially an event in Montpellier. And I didn't know how to go from Bordeaux to Montpellier, so we had a phone call with Louis, but as well as founder Max. And I started saying, well, I'm in Bordeaux and I have to figure out a way to get to Montpellier. And they're like, well, you don't need to. I will just bring you. And I'm like, oh, so cool and all that. I had to come a bit late because I was doing different things. He took me at the airport from Bordeaux, and we drove with the van all the way down to Montpellier. But on the way, they had to bring us to show a beautiful, obviously, a restaurant, drink some wine, go to the wine fields. It trip took a little bit more than that, and we beautifully connected. We slept in a beautiful place with a van. We had deep breathing sessions in the morning on the beach. It was one of the best way to bring a partner in the venture, for one thing, and that's, of course, more importantly, connect at a higher level. It was really, really, really amazing. Thank you so much, Louis, for that.
No, that's a pleasure. And I was very honored to have you in my van, because this is a van that I build by myself. I'm not only building in the ecosystem. So yeah, that was a real pleasure.
It was, and a beautiful van, really well done. I hope you still have the Par Soleil that I gave you.
Yeah, the umbrella. Yeah, I got it. I got that one. I remember that.
Cool, Louis. So tell us a bit about your amazing venture and of entrepreneurship and how you got to build InterCellar.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm the wine guy of the company. Of course, I used to be a wine merchant, a fine wine merchant, for almost 10 years. So fine wine merchant, basically, it's like the businessman of the wine, because the fine wine are distributed by negociant, wine merchant, and I was doing it across the globe, in the US, and of course in Asia. That was my main markets. And in 2017, beginning of 2017, I bought my first Bitcoin. And at the end of the year, 2017, that was the second bull run. The first one, I was not there. And I made a little bit of money, and I said, okay, I have to find some new customer for wine on one side. And on the other side, there are some wealthy people in Bitcoin, and they don't know what to do with their Bitcoin. So I was saying, okay, I'm selling wine. They have some Bitcoins. Why not accepting cryptocurrency as payment? And that's how it starts. In end of 2017, beginning of 2018, I created the first platform to sell fine wine in cryptocurrency that I sold in 2022. And in 2022, I launched with my current partner at InterCellar an NFT collection, so a membership collection, starting to gather a community about wine and spirit. That collection was a wine bottle club. It still has some connection with InterCellar. I will explain a little bit after. But we sold 2,000 NFTs at 0.3 Ethereum each. So 1 million euro, which was like, we were very proud of it because it was during the bear market. And we started to create our community. uh, between like the Web3 and the wine and spirit. And then now we created InterCellar, a platform that is gathering the wineries, the brands to the consumer for fine wine and spirit sourcing.
I love it. Yeah, I really love how you got, the expertise of wine and then realized that there were so many flaws in this wine business and the spirit business. Then you got to really start with payments for crypto, then NFTs and membership and creating communities, and now really creating a marketplace with a great ecosystem and a token. So we're going to talk about it. Maybe can you just share about the mission in a few words and the big problem that you're solving? I would say it would be very nice for people to know.
Yes, of course. As you say, it's like a big journey. When I started a few years ago, because like this is a very old-fashioned industry. It's a century-old industry. I mean, it's a pretty big one. If you just take it into account the luxury wine and spirits, it's like 200 billion in the world in 2024, and it will be 400 billion in 2031. So it's a growing luxury market, as all the luxury markets. They are, in every type of context, the luxury and the discount are working very well. So here we are more in the luxury wine and spirit industry, which is the second biggest market in France at exportation after aeronautics. But it's very old. Like there is like no marketing, there is no structure. Like for example, if you go to a very rare winery like Romane Conti, they have a system of allocation because it's a limited production, and they do it on Excel. So they don't have the tech, they don't have the marketing, they don't have nothing, but they have maybe one of the most beautiful products in the world, especially in France. We have Bordeaux, Burgundy, we have Cognac, of course, we have Champagne. So, and also across the globe, wine and spirit are a very good product. So the main mission is like to revolutionize this industry that has a lot of problems, such as, for example, which is the consequence of a high value product, the counterfeits. I think that it's 30% of the bottle in circulation, like the top range bottle that are fake bottles. In China, it's like 60 to 70%. So it's a huge problem. You have also with the value an issue of conservation, of storage, because it's like a very sensitive product, very sensitive to the temperature, to the hygrometry, the humidity. So there is like that problem of storage. And then, very important, that fits also to the NFT and the Web3 market. There is a valuation in time. Like you can make return on investment by investing in wine and spirit, very premium ones. It depends on the wine and spirit, but for wine, it can be like 7 to 8%. On some spirits, it can be 15%, like on some very rare Irish whiskey. So we have like a market that is a big secondary market, a problem from the traceability, and a problem of storage. And with our platform InterCellar, we are solving this problem through digital twins. So it means that for every bottle of wine or spirit, we make a digital twin, so an NFT, and you can store the physical bottle in a warehouse. It will remain at the same place, while the NFT, when you trade, you exchange, is moving from wallet to wallet. So we are solving the liquidity, the traceability, and also the security. And at the end, of course, this is the main purpose of wine and spirit, to gather people around a good moment. You can claim the bottle. We deliver 40 countries in the world, and you redeem your NFT.
Yeah, that's really, I think so, the beautiful counterfeit storage and bringing liquidity. I think so. That's something that is amazing. How many times I was at a friend's place and we opened this beautiful bottle, and it turns out that the bottle is horrible. The taste,
oxidized, or
storage is not good, or and I remember one of your presentation, you were telling that, so if you tap into the big wines, Cheval Blanc or Chateau Malafite or whatsoever, let's say the most noble wines, they change from 5 to 6 times of places before being open. Is that what you were saying?
Yes, 6 to 7 times before being drunk. So that implies a problem of storage, of course, because the wine can be damaged, and also like a terrible eco footprint, because like if the wine is traveling from London to Hong Kong and then going back to Paris, that's terrible. So there is that liquidity, but we have a physical product behind, so it's tricky.
So with the problem that it's solving, which is really these three ones, talk about a bit about the product itself and how it's been evolving. Maybe if you have anything, talk about the roadmap whatsoever.
Yeah, of course. So basically, the product is live. You go on intercellar.io and you can test all the features. So basically, you go on the platform, and the wine that are listed by the wineries and the distilleries are available on the platform. You have a primary market when it's coming from the seller directly, and then you have the secondary market for people who want to resell their bottles. So you buy the bottle, it goes directly to your wallet, MyCellar. We are on Polygon, and we're going to make a bridge on Solana for the token. We will go through it after. But you have the digital twin in your cellar, and then you have the physical one in the warehouse, which is a big warehouse in the suburbs of Bordeaux. This is the leader in the world in this kind of storage, only dedicated to wine and spirits. It's like when you go there, it's like Fort Knox of the wine, with like I don't know, 10 meters high of Grand Cru. So it's a big value. So your bottle are securely stored, and then you pay for a fee for the storage, and you have the ability to trade or to exchange your bottle. And then it moves from wallet to wallet, and then you have to fill in the form you get delivered in your country. So what is important about the product is that we have a lot of wineries that are already listed on the platform. We have more than 120 brands now, and we signed around 200 new brands that we are going to release by the end of the year. We already signed some very amazing wineries like Cheval Blanc, like Smith Lafitte, also some wines from all around the world, like Vic Winery. It's the best wine in Chile. We signed like Champagne Carbone, for example, as a champagne. So it's the official supplier to Bugatti. It was the former supplier for Formula One. We signed some amazing spirit also, like Dalmore whiskey, which is one of the best Scotch whiskey. So one of the best whiskey in the world. And it allowed me to answer again your first question about the mission. Our main mission is to onboard like the traditional industry, so the wineries, to the Web3 through our platform, and the customers. The more we have the wineries, the more we have customers. So it's like a balance.
Yeah, I love that. While we're talking, I was looking at my different bottles, and I don't have so many. I do have the Champagne Carbone in my wallet. But yeah, it's really cool how you guys have grown so much, and how many bottles there is there in terms of wine, or as well spirits as well, which is really, really cool. And what I love is there's really this primary market where sometimes it's extremely hard to get to buy any of these because, as you know, the demand usually is quite high and the supply obviously is not as big. But there's a secondary market as well, so you could always be able to then check it out and be able to see, if you're willing to pay a little bit more or not to get to the secondary market, which I think so it's really awesome. Maybe let's talk about growth and promotion, right? This is like, I know you just came back from Asia. We had a great tour. What has been the strategy that you think that has worked, and how are we going to bring the next million people to come to this marketplace and as well to buy the sale token eventually?
So there are a lot of things. So first, I think that in a startup, you have different stages. You have the ID, you have the fundraising, then you structure, and then you scale. We are currently in the structuration of the company before the scale. And to scale the company, you need to have like a good roots. So we started with the fundraising, and I think that you said this on a reel or on Instagram or something. You said it's not about the amount that you raised, but it's about the people that are involved in the company. So to start growing the company, we decided to only onboard investors that could help us, so some strategic money, and that's how and where we started. Because we have like in our investors some amazing angels, companies that will help us in different ways. Of course, SwissBorg for the community, for the tech part, and a lot of things. So that will be very helpful, of course. But we also have like Partouche Casino Group, which is the biggest casino group in Europe. They have more than 42 casinos and 100 establishments in total. So they will help us on the distribution. We have also Sandbox through Sébastien Borger, as we have like a gamification and this vision also of revolutionize the way you buy on the platform. So they will also help us. Also Crypto.com, also Eskimos, for example, that's just announced that they were invested in our company. Eskimos is the biggest SEO and SEA company in France. So we have all those investors that will help the company to grow. So first, this is maybe one of the first thing. Secondly, of course, there is the tech, the platform itself. Because as I just said before, the more we have wineries, the more we will have some customers. This is something a little bit strange, but the customers are coming when you have a lot of wineries, because you have the choice to make your collection. And the wineries are coming when there are some new customers. This is what the wineries, for knowing them very well, this is what the wineries are expecting, some new customers, new way of buying. So when we onboard a winery, and it was the case, for example, with Edmus, this winery is not very well known, but it's a former Apple executive. He just quit everything and he bought one hectare in Saint-Emilion to make his own winery. And when he came on the platform, we sold around 1,600 bottles in 24 hours. That was amazing. He brought some customers also that are buying on the platform. So this is the second way we are going to scale the platform, is by onboarding wineries and customer at the same time. And how do we onboard customers? This is the third point. It's by doing some great marketing. So of course we have a lot of KOL, more than 70 on the project. In the crypto space, of course, like Asher, which is the biggest crypto influencer in France and also in Europe, I guess. We have some lifestyle Web3 influencer like Farok, who were just recently interviewed President Donald Trump about Bitcoin and his project in cryptocurrency. And third, in the wine and spirit industry, personally, I became the first KOL in France in wine and spirits. So marketing is very important, especially in a very old fashion industry. And it leads a little bit to the token, which is very important because we are going to make a lot of acquisition of customers through our seller token.
100%. And let me come back to the screen. While we're talking right now, I'm getting very excited because I'm farming the points. Actually, I didn't even know there was a season 1. I just got to the season 2, but it's really cool. It's really, no joke. This will be shared on the video, but there's a really cool way to start farming. And I've just, posted right now on Twitter.
Basically,
how to do that.
It's a good Web3 acquisition. We have to do Web2 and Web3 both. We are more a 2.5 company. But thank you.
So I'm just gonna right now follow Max to make sure that I have 100 more points farming right now as we speak. But yeah, really cool. I 100% agree. Team is the great way. Advisors, investors, and then the community aspect. I think so has been already done very well through BTC Wine Club, Bottle Wine Club. Sorry.
Yeah,
and
Wine
of course
now
even more. Yeah,
of course.
InterCellar even more. Let's now maybe talk about the token itself, because obviously people are very excited. So, what are the perks regarding the token? There's always this new way, right, to farm the token and to grow the ecosystem. Tell us a bit more about it.
Yeah, so this is very important to make the difference between the NFT, so the digital twin of the bottle. This is the platform running, and the token. Our token will be a loyalty token. We were talking about club, about community. The wine industry itself is like a big community. And the fact is that we wanted to empower the platform through a token, the seller token. So it's a token, a utility token which has advantage for both customers and wineries. The most important, of course, is customers. So the more you stack on the platform, the more you will be able to have access to those very rare wineries. As you said at the beginning, some wineries, top wineries, you have some issues for buying. So the customer, they have issues for reselling through the platform. We are solving it, and to buying. And for buying, you need some allocation. And we provide those allocation through the token. So the more you stack, the more you will have access to these exclusive sales. Secondly, the more you stack, the more you will have discount on the primary market, secondary market, and storage. And also very important, as we are going to make the digital cellar of the future, which is also a part of our vision. If you go on the website, you can check that all the bottles are designed in GLB. You can touch them. For me, the user experience for such a product is very important. So that's why we want to gamify the experience. And the more you have token, the more you will be able to customize your digital cellar. So here it's more like a flex tool. And we burn 50% on those tokens that are spent. On the other side, you also have the brand side, which is very important. It's like a virtuous circle. And the more the platform or listing and the more they sell on the platform, the more they will earn token, the same token. So they are incentivized to go on the platform and to talk about InterCellar in general. And then with this token, they will be able to spend with marketing activation, like to have a banner, to pay for their CRM dashboard, to pay for the data for the customers. And they will be able also to be part of the marketing, like KOL. Here we have a good place to make like a podcast with the wine and spirit industry, which is not existing for now. So they will spend their token to make more visibility. So in a nutshell, the loyalty token Cellar that is going to be launched on SwissBorg for the alpha on the 10th of October will have advantage for customers and for brands.
Love it. I really think that, it's, I know that personally, and Christophe and my other people, we've been thinking about this multiple times. And I'm glad that you guys came up right now with this strong use case, which one is more B2B and one is essentially the user himself, and how you create this virtuous cycle together. So I think so it's really, really cool. The maybe last thing is about a bit the future, about this industry, about RWA, more on maybe on InterCellar. How do you see this evolving? What's your thoughts on it?
So different things. So first, two things that we are very proud is that, for example, so the first one is that my father-in-law told me like a few weeks ago, okay, now I understand a little bit more about the Web3 because you have like a tangible use case, and I understand what is it. I mean, he said like, well, when you see like Bored Apes or something, I don't get the point. I don't understand. So this is the first thing that I'm proud of. And the second one is that we get some investment for the pre-sale of the token from wineries, which is huge because I think that we all have the same mission to onboard the Web2 or like classic people into the Web3. So this is a kind of mission, of course. We are using the technology to solve problem of our industry. But yes, this mass adoption is one of the key points for all the projects, all the companies that are operating in the Web3. So this is what we are doing. It takes time. When I started like a few years ago, when I was going to the wineries saying, okay, I want to buy and sell your wine in cryptocurrency, they were like, wow, I don't want to hear about that. Now they are more interested in the project. They want to be listed on the platform. So that's very interesting for us. So my main vision is that, to be honest, when you are launching a company, when you're running a company, you need to have some good ambition. Our ambition is very simple. In the world, I mean, not in the execution maybe, but we have 29 unicorn in France. The last one, Sandbox, was Sandbox. They invested in the company also. But we have absolutely no wine and spirit company in those unicorns. And when you check the podium of the biggest company in the world of wine and spirit, you have Moet Hennessy, you have Pernod Ricard, you have Diageo, it's American, but you have 2 and 3 that are French. So basically our ambition is that, and how we are going to make it, it's by onboarding thousands and thousands of wineries and millions of customers on the same platform, InterCellar.
I love it. I really believe that it's the future. Whenever I talk about NFTs, and I see people eyes going up and down, right? And recently, a scale of Vaud, for those who know it, it's where the top CEOs of the canton Vaud meet, and most of these, companies have 200 plus employees, 20 plus million revenue, multiple exits of few billions and all that. And we were in a wine testing at Chateau in Lutry. And I said, okay, you guys, we're not a big fans of NFTs. I'll tell you that. They all had their eyes like, what's the company again? What's the company again? What's the company again? They got it right away. And I think that this is just the first step. As you bring liquidity to it for trading. But then how you could start to maybe take a loan based on your huge virtual cave that you have, and do whatever you want and do financing with that. There's so many things that essentially real world assets could bring. And again, if you bring the passion and the love of what our ancestors have been building for hundreds and hundreds of years, and you digitize it and you give this ownership to Web3, I think the future could only be bright, and I have a good taste of it. So, Louis, thank you so much for your time. It was really, really great having you on the show. And let's meet October 10th for the alpha session. Take care.
Yes. Thank you. Bye-bye, Cyrus.